Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. I hope you are enjoying your weekend. Today I have here a very interesting smartphone that is not really brought up a lot on other YouTube channels. In this case, it is actually the Realme GT Neo. Drop the phone. It is actually the Realme GT Neo 3T, and I've been using it for the past few days, and I actually find it to be quite interesting because it offers a lot of specifications for the price it's asking for. Today we are having a lot of new smartphones in the market and the prices keeps going up. So let's talk a bit about the Realme GT Neo 3T. Now just in case you are new to Realme, the Realme GT Neo line is basically their sub-line below their premium flagship GT series. So the Neo 3 actually came out a couple months back, and this is the 3T, which is slightly more affordable than that. Regardless, this is actually a very solid mid-range phone that goes for the price of RM1799 here in Malaysia. So what's cool about it? Well, let's find out. Since the Neo is always about interesting designs, we do have this sort of checkered back panel over here. You do have a choice of yellow, and there's also like a silver if I'm not mistaken. They both look quite alright. They're not super in your face, and you only need to actually shift the device to be able to see the checkered flag at the back, and I think that's actually quite alright. We also get this super slim frame over here. You can check it out, it's all in black, and I think it's really cool. Totally matte out on all the sides, and I think that is awesome to feel. Otherwise, it's pretty standard in terms of the design. At the bottom, you only get your Type-C port, your SIM card tray, and a dual stereo speakers. So you obviously do not have the headphone jack over here, but in terms of the stereo speakers, they actually do get quite loud. Moving on, let's talk a little bit about what else is interesting about the device itself. We do have a Snapdragon 870. A lot of people, usually when they find out about a new smartphone, they want to know what is being powered by. So the Snapdragon 870 it is. Apart from that, it comes built in with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage like I mentioned earlier on. There is only one storage option in Malaysia. Unfortunately, no 256GB. I would have loved that because 128 these days might not be sufficient, but that's what you get with the Neo 3T. Other than that, you also get so-called a vapor cooling chamber inside. I did play a couple of games on the Neo 3T and I found that it was again very smooth, not a lot of heat, but then again the Snapdragon 870 has already been proven to be one of the efficient yet powerful processors of 2022. So yeah, if you are familiar with the Snapdragon 870, the kind of performance is similar to that as well, and I think that is great for this price point. Moving on, in terms of the display at the front, you do get a very nice display. We have here an AMOLED panel. It refreshes at 120Hz. You have touch sampling rate of 360Hz. And for certain games, like maybe PUBG for example, the phone itself will go all the way up to 1000 touch sampling rate. So it's more sensitive when you play a couple of those supported games. Moving on to the back, in terms of the cameras, you have a triple camera setup here, which is being led by that 64MP main sensor. You have an 8MP ultra wide and 2MP macro lens. Basically, the 64MP main sensor, just like all previous Realme smartphones, actually do perform quite well. During the day, it's minimal noise, a lot of detail, great dynamic range, and during the night, it's actually quite clean as well. You are able to brighten a very dark scene. Again, this is quite consistent with Realme these days. I think Realme is really improving their camera game, and the same story can be said here about the Neo 3T. Last but not least, in terms of the battery life and all that, again, this is a very slim device, but yet you still get that 5000 mAh battery. Charging wise is 80 watts, and it does 0 to 50% in only 12 minutes, which is again very fast. So yeah, with that said, that pretty much wraps up the Realme Neo 3T. It also comes with X-axis haptics, by the way, just in case you are wondering. So a lot of cool stuff here, and the price is 1799 here in Malaysia. I think it's actually quite reasonable. A lot of things have increased in price, but this is actually quite decent for a mid-range smartphone considering the kind of specifications that you are getting here. With that said, if you have any further questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you liked it and hope you learned something from it, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Do stay safe everybody and enjoy your weekend. Bye!